Hey there, everyone. Usually you see me on the Shaft Network giving reviews on anime, but I thought I'd give my review on WrestleMania 27, and if you can't tell, my head still hurts from watching that. All I gotta say is, what the fuck did I pay $60 for? Okay, technically I didn't pay $60. My uncle joined me and I only paid $30, but still, what the fuck did I pay $30 for? You know, obviously, I feel ripped off by this. It's one of the worst WrestleManias I've ever seen, and a lot of it has to do with the main event, but we'll get to the main event when we get to it. Let's just go match by match in WrestleMania. First, let's start off with the match that was supposed to be in WrestleMania, but got cut to a dark card, and that's the United States title, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. Now, this was the match, the second most anticipated match for that I was anticipating. You know, I love Daniel Bryan. I make no beefs and bones about it. You know, say what you want about what happened at his death, but I was always a fan of Chris Benoit's wrestling style. And Daniel Bryan, to an extent, sort of reminds me of that sort of strong Japanese style, you know, the submissions and all of that. So I've always been a fan of that. And I have no problem admitting that I was a fan of Chris Benoit. You know, I'm not going to let the media in. That's something altogether. But nonetheless, that match got cut to being a dark match. And because of interference, as I hear, since I watched it on pay-per-view and didn't see it, interference caused it to become a battle royal, which the Great Khali won. Fuck you. That's all I have to say. Fuck you. So, with that being said, let's move on to the start of WrestleMania. And what do we start off with after America the Beautiful? Let me waste time, Rock. Or essentially, Dwayne let me waste time, The Rock Johnson. Yes, that's right. The Rock comes out and for 20 minutes spits a promo. Why? Because he's The Rock. And the IWC, Internet Wrestling Community, loves The Rock because they're still stuck in 1999. Mind you, the Internet Wrestling Community is the same people that still think TNA is awesome. So, yeah, oh, Rock, yeah, we hate John Cena because The Rock hates John Cena. The Rock is here. And because John Cena likes rap, we hate him, and blah, 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 blah. Boo John Cena, boo John Cena. Rock doing his usual shtick. And I'm like, I didn't pay $30 to watch the first 20 minutes of my pay-per-view being taken over by The Rock, which could have been used for, oh, I don't know, a match between Sheamus and Bryan Daniels for the United States title. But I digress. That ends, and we have the World Heavyweight Championship match. Okay. And don't get me wrong, it was a good match, but that's not the place. I'm sorry, I'm more of a traditionalist. That's not the place for the World Heavyweight Championship match. That's a main event. That's one of the last three matches. Last three or four, should I say. But anyways, you know what? It was a good match. You then had Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio. Now, I fully admit I'm willing to shell out $60 or should I say $60 when I'm alone, whatever the split is when I'm with people watching WrestleMania, just to see what Rey Mysterio comes out every year. And I thought actually he would have came out as Iron Man because, hell, I've seen a luchador come out as Iron Man before, so I know it could be done. But him coming out as Captain America was fairly enjoyable. I'm really hoping he comes out as Spider-Man next year, only because I've seen him wear similar Spider-Man type ring gear back when he wrestled back in the mid-90s in Japan. So I'm sort of anxious to see if he will come out as Spider-Man next year. If he is part of WrestleMania next year, that is. But fairly enjoyable match between him and Cody Rhodes. Enjoyed it. I would have liked to see the face win. Again, more of a traditionalist. I kind of like to see the faces win at WrestleMania, whether it's the start of the feud or the end of the feud. But for that matter, pushing Cody Rhodes' character, pushing this feud maybe further, I really don't have a problem with it. It was a very, very good match and one of my top 3 matches of the night. Then I believe you had the 10-minute 8-man tag match. Good for what it is, but okay. Fairly enjoyable. Mind you, through all this, we're having these silly comedic segments that look like they more deserve to be on Raw than they do on a wrestling pay-per-view. I so-called Mae Young, by the way, coming out from being the first person to come out from The Rock. I called that, okay? I saw that one coming a mile away, as long with Stone Cold. Let's see, what was next? Apparently next was, I believe, Randy Orton versus CM Punk. Fairly enjoyable match. Don't really have that much of a problem with it. After that, I believe then was Triple H versus Undertaker. The match itself was good, but again, they took way too long in getting Undertaker to the back. Now, again, I have to correct myself. For Taker and Triple H was, if I believe so, was Cole versus King. How did they fuck this match up? You know what? I'm sorry. We don't need to see it go any further. Look, you have Cole and Swagger come to the ring. Swagger gets stunner. Cole gets the ass shit kicked out of him. 10 minutes max. I'm glad you brought JR back, but one, this should have been the first match of the night, so JR could have called the rest of WrestleMania. And more importantly, again, it should have only taken 10 minutes. All we wanted to see was Cole get his ass kicked. We didn't want to see him wrestle, or for that matter, win by disqualification. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck you. So, again, like I said, after that was the Triple H Taker match. A very enjoyable match again. One of the top 3 matches of the night. Just took way too long getting Taker to the back. We then had the Snooki match. Now, I'm going to say this flat out. This was the third of the top 3 matches of the night. I'm not lying. Snooki impressed me that much, and I cannot believe those words are coming out of my mouth. I know the internet wrestling community said, how could you say that, Jersey Shore? Look, I hate Jersey Shore. I don't watch the motherfucking thing. It's just another stupid MTV reality show. The only reality show I ever watched on MTV was the original Tough Enough. But she did a handspring elbow smash into the corner. You give me another celebrity that could do that. Or the little splash she did. For what it's worth, it's actually impressive. And you know what? When I'm impressed, and I give her props for that. It was enjoyable for what it is, and I enjoyed it. Considering how the other matches went in the top 3 for me. And then you came the main event. What's supposed to be the closer. Cena versus Miz. Now, throughout the match, I agree, it looked off. This, again, worst match of the night. Bar none. I like the entrances. I'm wondering where they're going with Cena and sort of this religious thing. I don't even dare want to ask where that's going. But yeah, they did look at, the middle of the match was okay. They tried to pass, I guess, this whole John Cena, I guess, maybe having a concussion type of thing. But yeah, the double knockout. Can somebody tell me when the WWE rehired, why am I blanking on his name? Not Eric Bischoff, but, shoot, I'm blanking on his name. But the other asswipe at TNA that's writing all the scripts. I mean, when did they hire him back? That is a TNA ending to your main event. What makes it better to get The Rock restarted only to screw Cena? And why did they do all this? Because so they can set up next year's WrestleMania, which will apparently be Rock versus Cena in Miami. Fuck you, WWE. First of all, the ending itself makes Miz look incredibly weak. And for that matter, you could have set up Rock versus Cena next year and had the Rock bottom John Cena without having him screw Cena out of the title. You could have had him beat Miz, be a WWE champion, and still had Rock beat his ass at the end. And, I mean, seriously, honestly, you don't need to have a storyline to set up Rock versus Cena. It's The Rock versus Cena. It sets itself up. But I digress. You know, the ending of that main event just left such a bad taste in my mouth that I had taken a nap the next day, like a couple hours before WrestleMania. I mean, WWE Raw. About like a half hour before, and I said, oh, look, Raw's in a half hour. Fuck it. I actually said, fuck it to Raw. Yeah, so that's the bad taste WrestleMania left in my mouth. Too many freaking promos by The Rock. Horrible main event. Terrible use of time. Just one of the worst WrestleManias I've seen. Well, here's hoping next year's is better. Until then, I'm out.